The second choice, definitely the Valentina.
Yeah. So, I don't know. SRG feels like a Ling because again, it's not like Sakai's did a bad job on the Ling. I mean, maybe he made some bad calls, but it's about maturing, right? Game 1, forget about it. Focus on game 2.
I wonder.
Yeah, no, Angeling's not making it. Because if you pick the Ling here, does that make FCAP more reactive? Does that mean they're forced to pick up the Angela now, or else pay the consequences?
No, they can pick up Valentina and Moskov.
And then not care.
Or Moskov Terizla, actually.
And still have all the answers.
Huh. Interesting. I think among all of those, I think maybe Valentina plus Terizla, right?
There's the Valentina.
Yeah. But yeah, I think my top one is Valentina Moskov. Because
honestly,
now...
Terizla makes sense. Yeah. Let's go straight away.
You got it right, but you did something else.
Yeah, I mean, like, that still is... I'm still right. You know?
We still want to see Angela Moskov because it's not like they had a bad game.
Exactly. No, they played very well. If anything, they just adjust the second half.
Yeah. You know why I want them... Yeah, that's also true. Yep. I think, you still pick up Angela, but then why I like the Valentina is because it can copy the Angela. Angela actually hates playing against this Valentina.
They both just hide.
Yeah. Unless you want to go like Angela Ruby if you're SRG. Well, Moskov Ruby.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
They're letting go of the whole Angela situation, which I think is good because Yums is super comfortable on the Ruby. Almost single-handedly changes the tide of battle.
And I feel like Stormy, this is one of those situations where he's looking at everyone's eyes and he's like, let me carry the game. Let me do damage.
So FCAP should pick up their gold laner now. Maybe somewhere along the lines of a Claude, so that they have a way to match up with this Moskov, because I'm sure that there will be a lot of Super Marco bans upcoming with the Moskov being picked up, Harith not being available, as well as Roger. You want to pick up your gold laner now if you're FCAP.
The real question is it really going to be Roger? You know what? At this point, I want the casters to come in. You guys are seeing the first 3 picks for Selangor Giants as well as Falcons APBREN. How are you guys feeling about this one?
I think no, Haya.
All right, they're thinking Haya.
They have a brainstorming in their own side.
They're very invested.
Yeah, they're very.
I mean, given how dynamic and layered the first game was in draft, despite it being relatively greedy for SRG, I think there was a lot to go in there.
Again, going back to the casters, like, let's start with Falcons APBREN. What do you guys think of their opener?
Personally, I think their opener is looking really, really good. The Valentina, I mean, Miri and Merkel have been discussing constantly about the back and forth between these two teams, and I think so far, FCAP looking real nice.
Yeah, I think for Falcons APBREN, picking up the Terizla early was just amazing for them. Now they can nail down on the XPs for Cram, force the Ruby, hopefully, maybe for them, onto Cram. And then for SRG, I feel like they're really just going to try to nail down Kaltizi, deny all the assassin picks, force him on utility.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your thoughts on Falcons APBREN's opener. Now, in terms of the ban, what are we looking at like here?
I think I'd like to hold it on choking out Cram.
All right, okay.
Because again, after the aforementioned Ruby switch up is there, and of all the members of SRG, Cram is the one who is okay with living with the bare minimum. He's okay getting beat down. He can start the game at 0-4, and they'd still dig their way out of that. So maybe just protect everyone else and then let him be alongside Stormy, you know, carrying in his own way.
Yeah. All right. Now that means that you ban what? Paquito, I guess. Or Harlot's still Harlot's banned. Yeah, so you ban Paquito. There still is the potential of the Angela, by the way. We are not eliminating that factor, which also will be really good for SRG. That means that if they do want to pick up the Angela once again,
personally, for me, I want to see a damage dealer
for Stormy. Yeah,
personally, like. Given
Farsa?
Something like a Farsa, yeah, exactly.
Farsa's great overall. Another option is the Kagura. Oh, the Angel ban from FCAP.
Oh, wait, another one. The Aurora.
Oh, yeah.
The Aurora.
Yep. Also a hero that you don't give a massive ultimate to the Valentina too, right?
Yeah.
It's combo based, so it makes a lot of sense versus the Valentina. I'm curious, right? Nolan is probably among all of the assassins that we know, with Ling being picked up, Fanny ban, Hayabusa ban, you're left with Nolan. But it's not good against the Ling. So actually, my guess here is maybe they'll go for
Utility box is still out
yeah, or maybe even an Amon if Kyle picks it up. But here's an interesting thought. Maybe what if they go the Echo, the Team Liquid Echo route where they pick up Guinevere, right?
That's a pocket pick.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Kyle Teasy on one in a while.
Ooh, with the Minotaur, you pick up Aurora here.
Okay, that's a chain stun special from Falcons APBREN again.
Yeah.
Chain stun, chain knock up.
Yeah, or maybe a Navaria. How about a Navaria for SRG?
I mean, that does solve the vision situation. Doesn't really give much burst, but allows for you to control the flow of combat.
Navaria and Edith looks really good here for SRG. It's a good close-up on their already solid lineup with 2 important cores. You have the Ruby for eventually for Cram, or the Edith, whichever they pick, which are 2 heroes that are unbothered by the Terizla, and in a way can actually soak up the damage from the Claude. Now they pick up X-Borg. Like,
now they get the Borg and they get the Vexana. I guess they're just throwing all caution to the wind, saying, you know what, we don't care. Take the Eternal Guard.
Yeah.
And we'll go off of Innocent, we'll go off of Sikais.
Okay.
Oh, and the Nolan last pick here.
Yep.
So, thank you again, gentlemen, analysts, for your service towards the draft. Nolan last pick here coming in from Falcons APBREN. Gideon and Mirko, hope you guys are ready because we're throwing it over to you guys.
Man, that first half of the draft, that was interesting, but at least between you and me, Mirko, we figured it out towards that second half as we start rolling into this game.
Oh, man. You know, it really felt like for SRG, they really wanted to deny those assassins away, but they left the Nolan open, obviously because the Tigreal is a big threat to them as well. But now that Kyle is on an assassin that can match the Ling when it comes to farm, it's scary. They have a Terizla as well. This is a very similar composition that they used to beat Liquid Echo just yesterday, or 2 days ago.
And that's the thing, right? It's just a one-to-one solution, and hopefully the pieces are going to start falling into place. We're going to see whether our Malaysian representatives has what it takes to even take away a singular game in this best of 7 from the final bosses, the gods of the games. Falcons, APBREN, as we start rolling into the Land of Dawn. It's going to be SRG on blue side up against FCAP on the red.
SRG were definitely able to make Falcons APBREN lead in game number 1. It looked dominant for Falcons APBREN at the start, but then towards the mid-game, SRG with Yums always looking for the fights, they were able to drag them down to the ground to actually make it a head-on battle.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they were even to get the Falcons. They're not clipping their wings just yet, but definitely brought them to eye level, which is surprising. But looking at the emblems so far, seems pretty standard all across the board. However, this starts from the side of Falcons APBREN. In particular, Kyle Teasy, he opted to go for his orange buff first, then make his way down towards his purple, which does give an indicator that maybe they would just want to break the Faraga armor relatively early, just so that Flap Teasy has a better time in lane.
Yeah, for sure. I think getting rid of the Faraga armor is going to be top prio for Falcons APBREN, because we were talking about this X-Borg pick as well, off cam. The X-Borg is really great in lane. In the team fights here, up against a lot of burst heroes, like the Valentina and even the Nolan, he will struggle a bit, but as long as Cram can utilize the lead he gets in the lane, if the rest of the team is able to also just let him do whatever he pleases in the lane, it's going to be A-okay for Cram.
Now we get to the 1 minute 30 seconds and nothing has happened down by the EXP side, which gives Cram indication that, hey, it's probably safe on this side of the map for now. And as we notice, Kyle Teasy, he's on the top side, right? He's looking for an opportunity, maybe foreseeing that SRG was going to read into the EXP attack. Because look at them, they're sending 4 members down.
Again, for Falcons APBREN, it's all about dealing with Cram, the Faraga armor, because he's going to have auto prio. Especially with Stormy coming around. He gets that passive down, and Cram will just burn those minions for the passive to kill everything.
Now, Turtle is up. Purple buff is needed for Sakai to actually stand a chance. But Kyle, he's power farming this entire time. And in terms of like the laning phase, honestly, this is a way more manageable game compared to number 1.
Good damage there. Onto Few. Placed down by the Cursed Blast, but take a look at Falcons APBREN, who are the ones on the Turtle. Holding it down for now. Flap Teasy has the penalty zone. Can go for the zone, but Skies is already rotating over. Cal Teasy going to be pulled back by Yomes. Eternal Guard coming down as well, but Ogwen will be able to pop in his Fury straight into the flicker, knocking 2 members up. The SOD connects, but no one's taking it just yet. Ogwen gets blasted down by the last Insanity, and it will just be 1 for 1. Few going back and forth on the Valentina. Just with a Turtle advantage. Falcons APBREN up top. Super Marco blazing duet. Innocent wants to go for the pin down, finds it. but there will not be a solo kill. Not now.
Man, Innocent refuses to let go of any farm. He's like, I'm gonna pin you to the wall real quick.
No.
Let me quickly get the cannon. All right, we're done with the trade, okay? We're done. No more afterwards. But at the end of the day, Falcons APBREN, despite trading both supports for each other, they were able to achieve that turtle. So, if we're talking about a matter of inches, it's whether or not this turtle shield is going to make a difference in the upcoming engagement, right? Because right now, it's pretty passive between both top and bottom side, EXP and as well as gold.
I think it's going to be that way for the most part because Falcons APBREN, they're just so good, even in losing matchups, to make it even in the lane. They know that they are just here to farm. In the bottom lane, the Terizla is a losing matchup. Up top, even the Claude is a losing matchup, but somehow they're farming really, really well. You can even see in the XP, Claude, Marco's ahead.
Yep. They got to take their time with this, right? They're looking for these big opportunities to make big plays. And I think I'm looking towards Few and as well as Stormy in this particular game, right? Because I think that's the big game changers for each team. We're expecting FlapTZ to look for the big engage. We're expecting Cram to peel. That's pretty obvious. Even for Ogwen as well as Yums, the big engages happen off their battle spell timer. So keep in mind, 30 seconds on and 25 seconds on both.
That's a fracture damage. That's the burst damage that we were worried about for Cram on the X-Borg. Say goodbye to the Faraga armor. Sky's now in the bottom lane. Goes for the Fine Blaze just towards the minion waves. FalCons together with Flap. The hammer swings a few times. Skies gets zoned away from this turret. Will be able to pick up that last XP cannon minion. But still, a lot of resources down now for Sky's half HP. Yomes, I'm offended, didn't connect you. Able to use the last Insanity anti-CC to escape.
Yeah, nah. I think at this point, they're just going to have to take their time, right? I definitely think that at this point of time... Wait, hold on. That doesn't look right. Cram's got a little more health with that, but still, good patience coming in from Skies, right? His ult is such a big resource for him that he needs to hold for as long as possible. At the same time, where's the Minoan's Fury?
Again, time not that well. Eternal Communist Fury, though, catches them. Skies gets knocked up straight into the penalty zone. And now with the last Insanity, Cram, he's trying to burn them down. Is forced to flicker backwards. Falcons APBREN. It's Few with the steal on the last Insanity. Ogwen's trying to pin him down under that turret, but Cram knows better than to stay in the bottom lane all alone. Innocent up top now. FalCons comes in. Innocent still able to survive for a bit, but not for long. Not against the TZ Air.
Nicely done coming in from Kyle, right? I mean, if you can... Whoa. Calm down. Ooh. They really want to deny Skies any kind of farm.
It's getting tough for Skies. 3 levels down against the Nolan. That was a threat that we were talking about as well in the draft. The Nolan can match the farm speed of Ling. So with the Terizla, so much prio. Now with Ogwen walking forward against Cram, FlapTZ can swing the hammer down with the cannon minion. The Skies will be forced to just go for that purple buff up top.
Let's look at this replay one more time here, because again, the way, man, the fact that Kyle TZ just using the ult as a gap closer rather than I want the burst damage, knowing that Innocent still has his dashes, just goes to show Falcons APBREN, they got really clean communication. Like Super Marco's informing him about what is available to make these plays effective.
Calculated, always calculated. Maybe that's why he earned the name TZ behind him, right? But again, for SRG, it'll come down to how they're able to slow the game down, but then make those off-angle engages. Yoms, again in the mid lane, getting chunked down. You have a game fact.
Yep, Stormy leads MSC 2024 with the highest average assists per game at 10.2. He's not looking for those big plays. But, oh, wait, hold on.
Speed of Misery, but the ult in the backline straight into the blazing duet by Super Marco! What the heck was that? Skies gets the Tempest of Blaze, but Super Marco just guns him down to pick up a Maniac!
What a Maniac coming in for your boy Super Marco at 1 HP. We need a replay of that. We 100%. So we see the initial pushback 3.
What?
Eternal Guard hits. Where does it happen? Penalty zone hits 3, and Kyle just has so much damage. He has so much. He sets it up perfectly for Super Marco to walk in for free, and despite all of that, it just goes to show the jungle diff at this point of time. The 3-level lead that Kyle TZ has really making the difference. And let's look at the gold difference. Yup, he's still 2K ahead.
Super Marco. There's a reason he has Super in front of his name. Time and time again, he decides to flex that Super name. Standing in front, no, below a Ling. He got knocked up. He's like, nah, Purify. He was getting stabbed. He's like, nah, I got guns.
He's so brave. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like he teases people like, oh, I'm going to take off the bulletproof vest this time. Nah, there's still plating underneath it. Joke's on you. But with this being said, right, FALCONS APBREN, they slipped up in game number 1 when SELANGOR Red Giants hit a power spike, and they managed to out-micro them in a singular fight to turn things around and find that momentum. I'm expecting that FALCONS APBREN is going to take a much slower approach this time, and yeah, that's what we're seeing, right? They're not sending everybody. They're just, oh, if we hit it, then sure. If we don't hit it, we start backing up and waiting for the refreshes.
It's all about poke, I feel, right, at this point of the game, especially considering for Cram, he wants to stay in these team fights for a long time. So if FALCONS APBREN can just burst that Faraga armor down, nah, you can't really do much anymore. You're going to be forced to wait for the reset, for the regen of the Faraga armor. But yeah, man, Super Marco. He's like Kakashi with his mask, but Super Marco with his vest. Technically, you take it off, there's another vest down there, there's another plate down there. But at least for Skies, he is looking for farm. On the right place, Yums. I thought he was going to be bursted down there, knowing how far ahead Kyle is. But he just walks up and Skies is able to get a trade. Few though.
He can swap us if he wants it all. I don't think he spots it all. He checks it and he cancels it just to slow him down even further. How annoying. Worst yet, I think that FALCONS APBREN are in a great position because honestly, Few, he has his 2 frontliners to create that space for him, and SRG don't have that same capability. Stormy is playing at the very edge of his max range, where Few, he can stay as far away as he wants to. Oh, Flapteasy set it up for me, and Ogren follows up. I can go in and out.
Oh, look at the burst damage. On towards him, beating out the Eternal Guard for Peel. Skies is forced back as well. Cram is very low. And they can just stand there. Innocent up top, finding a turret. But look at that view again. Able to find the last insanity. That's a blazing duet. Skies steals the Lord somehow, some way. Marco gets the unstoppable. And Innocent gets a turret.
That's a tempo breaker. That's the clearest indication. Look, wait. Let's see. Look at the Lord health. We know what's going to happen. Tempest the Blades comes out the penalty zone. Lands first. Man.
2 levels.
A millisecond off. Kyle didn't get his retribution off. He wasn't expecting it. That's really unfortunate. Oh my goodness. And not to mention, right, after everything they got, the Eternal Guard, they also forced Yums to actually flicker out of the way. Technically, that's unacceptable.
FALCONS APBREN set that up perfectly. They had everything in their cards. But then, up top, that's where Innocent got picked off as well, by the way. But for SRG, Miracle Workers, Kyle walking up again, trying to get that passive down, unable to do so. Skies wants the 1v1.
Ooh.
Jumps back forward, doesn't have the purple buff, needs to respect that the energy can be depleted. Yoms able to escape Eternal Guard, knock Flapteasy out. Penalty zone from Flap. Not connecting there. I remember saying Marco even almost getting bursted down. Forced to blink back with the BMI. But now Skies is looking for him, jumps forward, and will be able to find it straight into the Spear of Destruction. A shutdown as he gets out.
The fadeaway jumps down, autos, doesn't even move. One more auto and walks off. Holy, SRG find a way to crawl back into this game despite everything that's happened. It looks like FALCONS APBREN, they're trying to regroup here. They go... I don't want to say that it was an overheat, but there are definitely moments where FALCONS APBREN were poking a little too hard for pretty much no value whatsoever. It could be an testament to SRG anticipating the pushback, or we could say that FALCONS APBREN, they were hoping for a little bit more from SRG.
I don't know what it is, Gideon. FALCONS APBREN had such a big lead. Cram taking a whole lot of damage. Even the execute there on the Skypiercer towards the Faraga armor. I didn't know you could execute the Faraga armor.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Doesn't happen very often here, but then again, it's not like we see Xborg every other day.
When was the last time we saw Xborg?
I think that was in the group stages already, man. Because that was the only time we got to see, like, you know, Terizla through. Once we got into the playoffs, man, the Terizla definitely was one of those things where, like, we gotta push him out of the way. But at this point of time, we look at the damage dealt. No one's still on top, and even the damage taken, right? Yeah, there we go. Xborg as well as Terizla both on top with, you know, Ruby not too far behind. And I think that Yum so far hasn't found a crazy I'm offended yet, right? I think that's the hardest part. Whoever's been throwing the first their abilities first tends to lose that match. But with the Winds of Nature from Slide with Super Marco, maybe he can make the super play.
That's something that we have been seeing a lot from FALCONS APBREN, but just in the few last minutes, it's been SRG finding those miracle plays, finding those super plays with an assassination from Skies. Somehow, it's like a timer for SRG. Every time they reach the mid game, they suddenly get a massive power spike.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, why did Yums use the I'm Offended onto Ogun there? What was he trying to bait out? Maybe he was hoping that FALCONS APBREN is going to overheat. I think for both of these teams, honestly, they're looking a lot more similar as long as this game goes on in this best of 7, right? They're baiting each other to try and overheat, baiting each other to overextend, and Yums know that the I'm Offended comes back up early.
Straight into Eternal Guard. I mean, this Fury and the Flicker combo. Kyle in the back line trying to find the assassination, but Innocent is able to blink out forward. Now in the back, Skies goes for the chase, the assassination on the Kyle with the Flicker, follower from Yums. Skies continues it. What happens to Blaze? Breaks it out and is in the midst of it all. Catches a lot of Blades. Innocent with a cleanup. And now it's Super Marco running for the hills. Flapteezy and Ogwen cannot deal with this Lord take from the Red Giants.
Oh, and now with the Lord take, they can almost guarantee at least one of these inhibitors. If they can get at least one, they can set themselves up for a really good Lord take afterwards. But it all comes down to the real question: who's going to overheat first? Because FALCONS APBREN have not been able to get maximum efficiency off of their abilities just yet, despite everything that has happened, right? It looked like Owen got a really good engagement, and more importantly, we did see Kyle having an insane angle right straight through the mid lane at the cost of a bunch of flickers from SRG.
This is why the Nolan, it's really good, especially when you're in the lead, right? But when you get to the 50-50s, when the enemy team was able to weather out the early storm, it's very tough for you to enter these team fights. There's a Don't Run Wolf King. There's obviously a Spear of Misery. But let's take a look at the siege now. 3 mini waves crashing down into FALCONS APBREN's base. Innocent finding the pin down straight into the I'm Offended. Over and over with the Eternal Guard catching Flapteezy. Minus Fury used up, but it was cancelled by him taken down. Now Sky jumping to the back using the Sky Piercer. Forcing the Winter Crown out. Flapteezy with a DPC. Locking Yums down, but he has the immortality. He can still survive. Sky is again poking through. And FALCONS APBREN, they live to tell the tale, to see another day. But SRG don't want to stop there. The siege continues. This time to mid lane with Yums over with the conceal already. I'm Offended onto Few straight into the stab down. Few taken down, traded in. Blooper Marco with a blazing duet. Finding one, going for the trade. The base is open though. Skies assassinates Marco straight into the BMI. Kyle, first in the world, now jumping in with a fracture. Not able to get him. Innocent 1 HP. Skies going for it. Minion's Fury onto the Cannon Minion. Now Ogwen, the master, 2v1. Tempest of Blaze. Ogwen taken down, burnt to the ground. By Cram. It's a penalty zone. As Flap goes for it, but Skies buys the immortality. And they drag the Falcons to ground level.
They're looking eye to eye. Even gods have to take one step down to see this new threat. Oh my God, what momentum. How do they swing it? And all of this thanks to a simple mechanic. Curse Blast, where's your HP now, brother man?
Yeah.